What's up, guys? Can I talk to you? Let me talk to you. Storm Connections has just been announced. Do you know what that means? That means we're getting a brand new Naruto game. And it's been how many years? Shinobi Striker does not count, okay? It doesn't count. That's not a game. Don't ever disrespect me. But again, there's mixed feedback. But if you haven't seen other videos that have done research, I'm pretty sure Storm Connection isn't a reskin or a collection pack of the previous Storm games. It's a brand new game. And with a brand new game comes brand new content, brand new things. And I feel like we should have a discussion, like a wish list of things that would make this game as good as possible, because I think it's very hard to argue that the best anime game out is Naruto Storm 4. And I think if we were going to play Storm 5 or Storm Connections, that it should be better, right? And this is a video that's basically going to go into what I think, or a wish list of things that I think would make Storm 5 the best game of all time in terms of anime games, at least, or fighting games, or whatever. That's not the point, okay? Let's not argue about what's going to be the best. Great, okay, let's get into it. I think the first thing we should wish for in Storm Connections is the ability to change support types. It would literally just be, you get to choose what type of support every single character is. But the limitation would be that you can only have one of each support. So you couldn't just put 3 characters as strikebacks, because like everybody would do that, let's be honest, right? Or like 3 characters as charge guard. You get what I'm saying? Or charge assist. Allowing us some freedom of how to play the game will always be a good thing. Why can't Sasuke strike back? Like, come on, bro. Imagine him smacking somebody in the back of the head with his Kusanagi. You know that shouldn't be tough. Come on now. Another thing I think we should really add is color customization, in the sense where if you go to customize your character, and it will literally show you every single character in the game, right? And you get to customize how it looks when they sub and how their finishing cutscene looks. The thing is, why not change their color as well? I know there are people like, that's not realistic. What's not realistic is Roto Boruto Sasuke fighting PTS Sasuke one-on-one or in a team battle, or even them two working together on the same team. Yet it's possible. So can we just not complain about things that don't make sense? And I think if I could make Sasuke's robe, Heavy Sasuke's robe, completely black, that would be tough. I should be able to change it. I don't know. That's just me though. Or if a character has multiple versions of themselves, can we just reduce all of those versions into one character, and just like with like the first character and the variations of character would just be the most recent character? So like Roto Boruto Sasuke, or Roto Boruto Naruto, or Roto Boruto, like all of these things, just make them extremely recent, and then you could go down which versions of them you want to use. And by the way, for the Roto Boruto characters, can we give them a different moveset from just their skins? Like, come on now. I think it would just be way easier. And also, I have an idea of how to do this, right? So, for example, if we have Sasuke, right? Roto Boruto Sasuke, but you want to get to PTS Sasuke, you would not have to select Sasuke and then change. What you would do, LT is to change the variation, and RT is to change the clothing, right? So, like, you just cycle through whichever character you want by pressing LT, or variation of character you want by pressing LT, and then you would change the clothing of that variation using RT. I'm very easily stimulated by visuals, right? So imagine it wasn't just Sasuke that popped up when I'm selecting a whole team, but it's the whole team, right? So like I select Sasuke, he drops in and then he poses, and then I select Kimimaru, he drops in and he poses. Like on the screen where I'm selecting character that I select should show up, but as like how the leader shows up, every single one of those characters should show up. And this would also allow us to cycle through which variations of each character or which clothing of each character we want to use, whether they are the leader or the support. Add wall combat back. Add it back. Okay, please, just allow us to fight on the walls. You did it in One's Justice, a My Hero game, where nobody has ever fought on the walls before, but it's not in Storm. Come on, you're being ridiculous. Not just that, could we also add jutsu clashes back? It's not like, bro, it's not even that big. Just make it so Rasengan, Chidori's, or any jutsus like that, fireballs or dragon, water solid dragon jutsu, or any big jutsus like that clash. Or even if it's like a Rekka jutsu, or a jutsu that basically is more of an attack and less of a jutsu. For example, Kimimaru or Kabuto. If two characters with same type jutsu do at the same time, it should clash. And then like Storm 1 is just like a variation or multiple different buttons that you need to press in order to like beat the other person that's doing it. Like, come on, that's cool, right? Not this cancel out thing that just is not fun. That's not fun. I want to clash with the Chidori and a Chidori, or Chidori and a Rasengan, or Water Dragon Jutsu and a Wood Dragon. Like, come on, give it to us, man. Like, dang. And let's not forget one thing. Can we increase the chakra charge rate just by a second? Just 1 second, right? So here is going to be the mechanic change I think we should have in Storm 5. And I think we can all agree that the D-pad is just... There's definitely a better use for it. And I think I got it. I think I got the best use for the D-pad. Let's say we have the ninja tools mapped to the bottom of the D-pad. We have tilts mapped to the left of the D-pad. We have jutsus mapped to the right, and ultimate jutsus mapped to the top. You still activate jutsus by pressing the chakra button and then attacking. But when you press right on the D-pad, you change what type of jutsu you're able to do. So if a character like, I don't know, Sasuke has Chidori and Fire Style, if you want to do Fire Style jutsu, but it shows that Chidori selected on the D-pad, press right on the D-pad, and then it changes to Fire Style jutsu. And then whenever you do a jutsu, it does Fire Style Fireball jutsu. And you could change vice versa, no matter what. There's no cooldown or anything, because guess what? In Naruto, there's no such thing as you only being able to do one jutsu, right? The problem is, to do with ultimate jutsus, obviously there are characters that have different ultimate jutsus and different jutsus, but nobody has different tilts. But there are a lot of characters, Naruto and Sasuke specifically, who have different tilts based on the variation of that character. So like, the more recent the character is, the most likely they could do the tilt of their previous version, right? Obviously it would change based on their age as well. So like, Roto Boruto Sasuke wouldn't be able to do PTS Sasuke tilt, but like, or Rene Sharingan Sasuke should be able to do Habi Sasuke's tilt, right? The problem is, not every character has a variation. Actually, most characters don't have a variation of themselves. So let's throw it out there. Can we add more variations of each character? Or if not, I'm sorry, I take that back. Let's not add more variations of each character. Let's add more tilts, ultimate jutsus, and jutsus for each character, because that itself is content that I think is highly welcomed and nobody would be upset at, because it just gives you get to relearn a character. You know what I mean? Because they would have multiple things in their arsenal that you never used before, you never comboed before, or you never like experienced. You know what I mean? So like, obviously Naruto and Sasuke wouldn't have to deal with this, but like Sakura or Neji or Rock Lee, they would all get new jutsus, ultimate jutsus, and tilts that you could cycle through. And that's a lot to ask for. So I get it if it doesn't work. But again, I think it will just make the game, like, that's a mechanic that would make the game so engaging, because imagine I do a Fire Style Fireball jutsu and then I go into a Chidori right after. That is cool to me. Personally, that's just me personally. Oh, I should also mention, sorry, I forgot to mention, for the ninja tools, you would basically, all the ninja tools that each character has themselves, right? Like, if you select the leader, you use whatever that leader's ninja tools were, right? The ninja tools would be cycled through by the bottom of the D-pad, and to use whatever is selected at the bottom of the D-pad, or ninja tool that's selected, you would press triangle circle. Add new characters. And not just add new characters, could we also get updated stories? For example, let's say this new arc of Boruto finished, right? And our story is up to the arc before that. Once that arc finishes and it goes on to the next arc, the next season puts the arc that was just finished into the game. It would give us a waiting factor, a hype factor, like, ooh, the next chapter came out, ooh. Like, it just gives us a sense of community with the player base and the people who are actually making the game. Because let's be honest, TC2 make a better job animating the anime than the anime. Like, let's not even talk about Boruto's animation. That was my wish list for Storm Connections. Very specific, very... I know there's a lot of online things that are also important, but at the same time, I just feel like so many other people have said it. And if you want to see a wish list based off that, I recommend Poison Okamiya, I recommend Lobku. I've seen a lot of people talk about these things, and this is more of a general like gameplay and like interaction type thing, and less of like how the game should play in tournaments, how the game should play in, yeah, etc.